Mary woke up early as usual before dawn. The alarm clock read 5:30 a.m., and she rose with the weight of daily responsibilities on her shoulders. She got up quietly, trying not to make noise so as not to wake her mother or her sister. She went to the kitchen, which, although small and modest, was the heart of the house. As she put water on to boil for her coffee, she glanced at the large clock on the wall. The hands pointed to almost 6, which meant that she would soon have to leave to catch the bus to work. Mary knew that those quiet moments in the kitchen were some of the few she could truly enjoy. "Good morning, Mum," Mary said with a smile when she heard the slight sound of her mother's bedroom door opening and the sound of the wheelchair approaching. "Good morning, dear. How did you sleep?" replied Mrs. Blanc, her voice tired but loving. "Good, as always," Mary lied so as not to worry her. "I'm going to make breakfast before I leave." Mrs. Blanc nodded, watching her daughter with concern. She knew how hard Mary worked to support the family. Since her husband had died in a traffic accident and she herself had been confined to a wheelchair, Mary had become the pillar of the family. Not only did she work long hours at the hotel, but she also took care of the house and looked after her younger sister, Anna, who was still in high school. Mary quickly prepared breakfast and left everything ready for her mother and sister. Before leaving, she peeked into Anna's room. The little girl slept soundly, her schoolbooks scattered around the bed. Mary watched her for a moment, feeling a mixture of love and responsibility. "See you later, Mum. Take care of Anna for me," Mary said, kissing her mother on the forehead. "Of course, dear. Be careful at work," replied Mrs. Blanc, trying to hide her worry. Mary left the house with her bag over her shoulder, heading for the bus stop. As she walked, she couldn't help but think about her dreams and aspirations. Working as a waitress in a luxury hotel was not her ultimate goal, but she knew it was a necessary step. She dreamed of moving up in the hospitality industry and someday running her own hotel. But for now, she had to focus on supporting her family and enduring the hardships of daily life. When she arrived at the bus stop, Mary greeted some acquaintances who were also on their way to work. She got on the bus and found a seat by the window. She looked out, watching the city begin to wake up. The bus reached its destination after a 40-minute ride. Mary quickly got off and headed for the hotel, an imposing luxury building in the heart of the city. The entrance, adorned with majestic flower arrangements and an impressive chandelier, always reminded her of the distance between her life and the world of opulence inhabited by the guests. "Good morning, Mary. Ready for another day?" asked Thomas the doorman with a wink. "Good morning, Thomas. Always ready," she replied with a smile. Mary went to the staff locker room to change into her impeccably white uniform. She looked at herself in the mirror for a moment, adjusting her cap and making sure her appearance was perfect. Once ready, she went to the service area where her colleagues were. She greeted some of them with a nod, noticing the varied expressions she received. Some were friendly, others indifferent. Most were absorbed in their own worries and routines. "Good morning, everyone. I want to see efficiency and dedication today," said Luis, the hotel manager, a middle-aged man with a calculating look and a smile that rarely reached his eyes. Mary felt a knot in her stomach upon hearing his authoritarian tone. Although his presence always spelled trouble, she remained calm and focused on her tasks. She started her shift by attending to a newlywed couple who had just arrived. She welcomed them with her best smile and made sure they had everything they needed in their suite. The couple, delighted with her kindness and efficiency, did not hesitate to show their appreciation with a generous tip. It was a hot summer afternoon at the Hotel de la Luna. Mary, in her impeccably white uniform, was finishing picking up towels and rearranging chairs around the pool. The sea breeze did not manage to dissipate the suffocating heat, and the guests sought relief in the crystal-clear waters. As she picked up a soggy towel from the floor, Mary heard a sound that chilled her to the bone, the frantic splashing of a child struggling to stay afloat, and the muffled cry for help. Her gaze immediately went to the deepest part of the pool, where she saw a little boy no more than 5 years old sinking into the water. Without wasting a second, Mary dropped the towels and ran to the edge of the pool. She jumped into the water with determination, swimming vigorously towards the child. Her first aid training, received during her hotel induction, kicked in immediately. She grabbed the boy and brought him to the surface, swimming back to the edge of the pool with him in her arms. "Someone call an ambulance," she shouted as she laid the boy on the ground and began performing cardiopulmonary resuscitation. The seconds seemed like an eternity, as Mary worked frantically to save the child. Finally, the boy coughed, expelling water from his lungs and beginning to breathe again. A sigh of relief was heard among those present, and the boy's parents, who had come running, knelt beside him, weeping with relief and gratitude. "Thank you. Thank you so much, miss," the boy's mother said through sobs. "You saved his life." Mary, still panting from the effort, replied humbly, "I just did what I had to do. I'm glad he's okay." However, the moment of relief was abruptly interrupted by the imposing figure of Luis, the hotel manager, who pushed his way through the crowd. His face was red with fury. "What do you think you're doing, Mary?" Luis roared. "Why did you leave your post without authorization?" Mary slowly got up, still trying to catch her breath. "Sir, the boy was drowning. I had to act quickly." Luis looked at her with a mixture of disdain and contempt. "It doesn't matter. You left your post without permission and put the hotel's reputation at risk. You're fired, effective immediately." A murmur of surprise and disapproval ran through the group of employees who had witnessed the incident. Carla, one of Mary's colleagues, stepped forward. "But Luis, she saved the boy's life. How can you fire her for that?" "This is not a debate," interrupted Luis sharply. "Mary broke the rules, and the consequences are clear. Now, everyone back to your posts." Mary felt a mixture of disbelief and despair. She had acted on instinct to save a life, and now she was losing her job for it. However, she decided not to argue any further at that moment. With whatever dignity she had left, she gathered her belongings and left the pool, feeling the sympathetic and supportive looks of her companions. As she walked towards the exit, the boy's parents approached her again. "This is an outrage. We can't let them fire you for saving our son," said the boy's father, his voice firm. "We're going to talk to the owner of the hotel. Don't worry, we won't let this stand." Mary nodded gratefully, though without much hope. She knew Luis had a lot of influence at the hotel and doubted her situation would change, but at least she was comforted by the support of those she had helped. Mary stood before the closed doors of the Hotel de la Luna, feeling the weight of the world fall on her shoulders. Luis's abrupt and ruthless decision to fire her had left her family in an even more precarious situation. With a heavy heart and a mind clouded by uncertainty, Mary began her journey home, wondering how she would explain to her mother and sister what had happened. Upon arriving home, Mrs. Blank greeted her with a look of concern. "What happened, dear?" she asked, her voice trembling. Mary tried to remain calm as she explained the situation, but tears began to roll down her cheeks. "They fired me, Mum. I saved a boy in the pool, and Luis fired me for leaving my post." Anna, who had been listening from the doorway, ran to hug her sister. "It's not fair, Mary. You did the right thing. They shouldn't have fired you for that." Mrs. Blank took Mary's hands firmly. "We'll get through this, dear. We'll find a way." During the following weeks, Mary dedicated herself tirelessly to finding a new job. Every morning she would get up early, check the job listings, and walk around the city, handing out her resume at every establishment she came across. However, the responses were always the same. "I'm sorry, we're not hiring at the moment," or "we're looking for someone with more experience." The little savings the family had began to run out quickly. The situation was becoming desperate. Mary felt trapped in a cycle of rejection and frustration, and each closed door added more weight to her burden. One afternoon, after a particularly disheartening day of job hunting, Mary returned home, exhausted and discouraged. Her mother was waiting for her with a cup of hot tea and a look of understanding. "Dear, I know this is hard, but you can't lose hope. You're strong and capable. Something will work out, you'll see." Mary tried to smile, but exhaustion and despair were evident in her eyes. "I know, Mom, but sometimes I feel so powerless. I don't know how much longer we can hold on like this." The bills piled up, and meals became more frugal. Anna, worried about her older sister, tried to help in any way she could, but she also felt the weight of uncertainty. The reality of their situation became more apparent each day, but Mary refused to give up. Despite the adversities, she clung to the hope that something would change. Her thoughts often went back to the Hotel de la Luna and how things had ended there. She knew she had to move on, but the pain of injustice was still fresh in her heart. That night, as Mary got ready for bed, she looked at her mother and sister, both already resting. She promised that no matter how hard the road, she would find a way to secure a better future for all of them. And with that determination in her heart, she closed her eyes, ready to face another day of struggle. Mary spent a sleepless night, restless about what had happened at the hotel. The next morning, as she helped her mother with breakfast, she tried not to be overcome by uncertainty. Her mother, always attentive, noticed the worry in her daughter's eyes. "Dear, you have to trust that everything will work out. You did the right thing," Mrs. Blanc said with a warm smile. Mary nodded, grateful for her mother's support, but still with a shadow of doubt in her heart. Just as she was about to leave to look for another job, she received an unexpected call. "Hello, is this Mary?" The voice on the other end of the line was firm but kind. "Yes, this is she. Who's calling?" "This is Alex, the owner of the Hotel de la Luna. I would like to meet with you to discuss what happened yesterday. Would you be able to come to the hotel this afternoon?" Mary felt a mixture of nerves and hope. She arranged to meet with Alex at 3 o'clock that afternoon. She arrived at the hotel punctually, feeling a pang of nostalgia as she walked through the revolving doors. Thomas, the doorman, greeted her with a sympathetic smile. "Hello, Mary. Good luck with the meeting." "Thank you, Thomas," she replied, trying to stay calm. Alex was waiting for her in his office. As she entered, Mary noticed that the space reflected the elegance and luxury of the hotel. Alex rose from his desk and offered her a warm smile. "Thank you for coming, Mary. Please, have a seat," he said, gesturing to a chair in front of his desk. Mary sat down, trying to maintain her composure. "I have reviewed the security footage of the incident at the pool," Alex began. "I saw how quickly you acted to save that child. It was an act of bravery, and I'm deeply impressed." Mary felt an immediate relief, but also a latent concern. "Thank you, sir. I only did what anyone would have done in that situation." Alex nodded. "I understand, and that is why I'm here to right a wrong. I want to apologize on behalf of the hotel for the way Luis handled the situation. It was unacceptable. I am here to tell you that I am offering you your job back, with a promotion." Mary blinked, surprised. "A promotion?" Alex smiled. Yes, I want you to take on the role of supervisor. Your ability to handle crisis situations and your dedication are exactly what we need at this hotel. Mary felt a mix of emotions, relief, gratitude, and a newfound hope. She nodded slowly. I accept, sir. I will do my best to live up to expectations. I am sure you will. Now there is another matter. I need to speak with Luis. I have asked him to come so that he can explain his behavior, Alex said, with a firmness that brooked no argument. A few minutes later, Luis entered the office. His face showed a mixture of nervousness and resentment. Alex wasted no time. Luis, I have reviewed the recordings and spoken with several witnesses. Your behavior was unacceptable. Mary acted heroically, and you punished her for it. I want to hear your explanation. Luis shifted in his seat. Sir, I was only following the rules. We cannot allow employees to abandon their posts without authorization. There could have been serious consequences for the hotel. Alex looked at him sternly. The serious consequence would have been the death of a child. Mary acted as any decent human being would. Your lack of judgment is what really puts the reputation of this hotel at risk. From now on, Mary will be a supervisor. As for you, you will be demoted. This is your last warning. Any further inappropriate behavior, and you will be fired permanently. Luis opened his mouth to protest, but Alex raised a hand, silencing him. There is nothing more to discuss. You may leave. Luis stood up, his face red with anger and humiliation, and left the office without another word. Alex turned back to Mary. I am sorry that you had to go through this, but I want you to know that we value your dedication and courage. I'm confident that you will do an excellent job as supervisor. Mary nodded, feeling a renewed sense of purpose. Thank you, sir. I will not let you down. Alex smiled, satisfied. I know you won't. Welcome back, Mary. Her colleagues greeted her with congratulations and words of support, which reinforced her belief that she had made the right decision in returning. Mary couldn't help but feel a mixture of nervousness and excitement as she arrived for her first day as manager at the Hotel de la Luna. Alex had placed his trust in her, and she was determined not to let him down. As she put on her uniform, more polished than ever, she mentally reviewed her plans to improve the work environment and the quality of service. First thing in the morning, Mary called a meeting with all the staff. She wanted to start by listening to her colleagues, those with whom she had worked side by side, and who knew well the daily challenges of the hotel. Good morning, everyone, Mary began, trying to hide her nervousness behind a confident smile. As some of you already know, I have assumed the position of manager. I want you to know that my door will always be open to listen to your suggestions and concerns. We will work together to improve our work environment and offer the best possible service to our guests. There was a murmur of approval among the employees. Mary continued, I want to start by listening to your ideas. What do you think we can improve in our daily work? Manuel, one of the waiters, raised his hand. I think we could benefit from a better organization in the assignment of tasks. Sometimes it seems that we are duplicating some jobs while others are left unattended. That's an excellent suggestion, Manuel, Mary replied. I will work on a task rotation system to ensure that everyone knows exactly what is expected of them at all times. Carla, who had been a close friend of Mary's, also spoke up. Mary, it would be great if we could have regular training sessions. It would help us all improve our skills and feel more confident in our roles. Mary nodded enthusiastically. The meeting continued with various suggestions and comments, and Mary took note of each one. She knew that the key to good leadership was to listen and act accordingly. During the following weeks, Mary dedicated herself to implementing the promised improvements. She introduced an incentive system to recognize good performance and established more flexible schedules to help employees balance their work and personal lives. The results were evident. The atmosphere in the hotel became more positive, and employees showed a more engaged and enthusiastic attitude. Alex, observing the progress, decided to invite Mary to dinner to discuss progress and future plans. They met at a cozy restaurant near the hotel. The conversation started with work topics, but soon turned more personal. "Mary, I'm really impressed with the changes you've implemented in such a short time," Alex said, raising his glass. "You're a natural leader." Mary smiled, feeling a warmth in her chest. "Thank you, Alex. It means a lot to me to hear that. But I couldn't have done it without the support of everyone at the hotel, and of course, your confidence in me." Alex looked at her with an expression that mixed admiration with something deeper. Dinner continued with a fluid and sincere conversation. Both shared their dreams and aspirations, finding unexpected but welcome support in each other. The weeks passed quickly at the Hotel de la Luna. Mary and Alex, despite their professional roles, found moments to share outside of work. Conversations that began about hotel management soon morphed into discussions about dreams, aspirations, and life beyond their daily responsibilities. One evening, after a successful dinner with some important clients, Alex decided to be more direct with his feelings. "Mary, would you like to have dinner with me tomorrow?" he asked as they walked down the hotel corridors. Mary felt a knot in her stomach. She had noticed the growing closeness between them, and although she enjoyed Alex's company, something inside told her to be cautious. "Alex, I appreciate the invitation, but I think it's best if we keep things professional for now," she replied, trying to sound as calm as possible. Alex stopped, surprised by the answer. "Have I done something wrong?" he asked, a mixture of confusion and concern in his eyes. "No, not at all," Mary said quickly. "It's just that things have moved very fast, and there's a lot at stake. I need time to think." Alex nodded slowly, trying to understand. "I understand, Mary. I don't want to pressure you. I just want you to know that I value our relationship very much, whatever form it takes." Mary smiled, grateful for his understanding. "Thank you, Alex. I value our relationship too." During the following days, Mary focused on her work, avoiding situations that could lead to personal conversations with Alex. She immersed herself in continuous improvement of the work environment and staff training. She organized several meetings and workshops, always looking for ways to make the hotel run better. Despite her efforts to keep busy, Mary couldn't help but think about Alex. His words echoed in her mind, and although she tried to ignore them, she knew that her feelings for him ran deeper than she wanted to admit. One afternoon, while reviewing reports in her office, Carla approached her with a knowing smile. "Mary, I've noticed you've been avoiding Alex lately. Everything okay?" Mary sighed, knowing she couldn't hide anything from her friend. "It's complicated, Carla. Alex and I have been getting closer, but I'm not sure if this is the right time for anything more." Carla sat down in front of her, looking at her seriously. "Mary, I know you've been through a lot and your family depends on you, but you also deserve to be happy. Don't let fear stop you from experiencing something beautiful." Mary nodded, grateful for her friend's words. "I know, Carla. I just need time to clear my head." Meanwhile, Alex was also reflecting on the conversation he had had with Mary. He respected her desire to take things slowly, but he couldn't help but feel a pang of disappointment. He decided to give her space, hoping that eventually she would be more comfortable with the idea of exploring something more between them. The days turned into weeks, and although Mary and Alex continued to work together, there was a palpable tension between them. However, both behaved professionally, focusing on hotel projects and continuous improvements. One night after a long day at work, Mary received a call from her mother. "Hi, honey. I just wanted to tell you how proud we are of you. We know you've been working very hard and that you have your own worries too." "Thank you, Mum. I just want to do the best for all of us." "We know, Mary. But remember that it's also important to take care of yourself and your happiness." Her mother's words touched her deeply. Mary knew she had to face her feelings and make a decision about what she wanted in her life. The next day, Mary decided to talk to Alex. After a team meeting, she approached him. "Alex, can we talk for a moment?" Alex nodded, following Mary to her office. Once there, he closed the door and turned to her. "I've been thinking a lot about what we talked about the other night," Mary began. "And I think I need to be honest with you. I have feelings for you, but I'm also afraid of what that might mean for us and for the hotel." Alex stepped closer, his expression understanding. "Mary, I understand your concerns. I don't want you to feel like you have to do anything you're not comfortable with. I'm willing to wait and take things at your pace." Mary felt a wave of relief wash over her upon hearing his words. "Thank you, Alex. I just need a little more time." The sun was setting over the Hotel de la Luna, painting the sky a deep orange. Alex had been nervous all day, waiting for the right moment to talk to Mary. He had carefully planned every detail, and although he knew that she still had reservations, he was determined to take the next step. After a long day, Alex asked Mary to meet him on the hotel terrace. She accepted, intrigued by his insistence. The terrace overlooking the ocean was decorated with soft lights and an elegantly set table for two. Alex was waiting, dressed in casual elegance, trying to hide his nervousness. "Mary, thank you for coming," he said, offering her a chair. "What's all this, Alex?" she asked, surprised by the romantic setting. "I wanted to talk to you somewhere special," he replied, taking a seat opposite her. "Mary, these past few months have been incredible. Watching you manage the hotel with such grace and dedication has been inspiring. But what has impressed me the most is the person you are, your courage and your heart." Mary felt a mix of emotions, aware of where the conversation was heading. "Alex, Before she could continue, Alex stood up and knelt before her, pulling a small velvet box from his pocket. "Mary, I know we've been through a lot, and there are still challenges ahead, but I want to face them with you. Will you marry me?" Mary was speechless, her eyes welling up with tears of emotion. She knew she loved him, but she also knew that accepting meant facing many challenges, both personal and professional. Finally, she took a breath and replied, "Alex, yes, I will marry you." The joy in Alex's eyes was indescribable. He stood up and hugged her, sealing their commitment with a kiss under the starry sky. However, the couple's happiness did not go unnoticed by everyone. Luis, who had been watching the scene from the shadows, felt a wave of envy and resentment. Determined to ruin their happiness, he began to hatch a plan to sabotage the wedding. Luis contacted various suppliers and hotel employees, trying to bribe them into causing problems during the wedding preparations. He paid some to fail their deliveries, others to boycott the decoration and services. Carla, Mary's loyal friend, noticed Luis's suspicious activities and decided to investigate him. After discreetly following him and listening to his conversations, she discovered his evil plan. Wasting no time, she went straight to see Mary and Alex. "Mary, Alex, I need to talk to you," Carla said, her voice full of urgency. "It's about Luis. He's planning to sabotage your wedding." Mary and Alex exchanged surprised glances. "What have you found out, Carla?" Alex asked. Luis has been bribing suppliers and employees to cause problems during the wedding preparations. You have to do something before it's too late." Alex frowned, feeling a mixture of fury and determination. "Thank you for telling us, Carla. We'll take care of this immediately." That night, Mary and Alex met to plan how to confront Luis and stop his plans. They decided to talk to every vendor and employee involved, offering them incentives to cooperate and reveal evidence of Luis's activities. With the evidence in hand, Alex summoned Luis to a meeting in his office the next day. Mary, Carla, and several witnesses were also present. "Luis, we have evidence that you have been trying to sabotage our wedding," Alex said, showing the testimonies and recordings. "This is unacceptable, and I cannot allow someone with your lack of integrity to continue working here." Luis, his face pale with anger and humiliation, tried to defend himself. "This is a misunderstanding. I didn't do any of the things I'm being accused of." Mary interrupted him, her voice firm but calm. "Luis, everyone here knows the truth. There's no point in denying it. You have acted with malice and selfishness, and there is no place for that at the Hotel de la Luna." Alex nodded, reaffirming the decision. "Luis, you're fired, effective immediately. I'm sorry it had to come to this, but your actions cannot go unpunished." Luis left the office with his head down, aware that his attempt at revenge had failed. Mary and Alex, on the other hand, felt a great sense of relief, knowing that their wedding would not be ruined by his bitterness. With Luis out of the way, the wedding preparations continued without major setbacks. Mary and Alex worked together, enjoying every moment of planning, making sure everything was perfect for their big day. The days leading up to the wedding were a blur of excitement and feverish activity at the Hotel de la Luna. Family and friends arrived from all over, and every corner of the hotel seemed to vibrate with anticipation for the big day. Mary and Alex, with the tireless help of their loved ones, made sure that every detail was perfect. One afternoon, while finishing hanging the lights in the garden, Alex turned to Mary with a smile. "I can't believe we're almost there. Everything looks amazing, and it's all thanks to you." Mary returned his smile, feeling the warmth of his love and support. "I couldn't have done it without you, Alex. It's been a real team effort." They both paused for a moment to admire the result of their efforts. A garden transformed into a paradise of soft lights and fresh flowers, with an ornate arch where they would exchange their vows. The night before the wedding, Mary's family hosted a small dinner at the hotel. Her mother, Mrs. Blanc, took the floor with a proud smile. "Mary, Alex, I want to thank you for making me a part of this very special moment. Mary, ever since you were little, you've always been strong and brave. I'm so proud of the woman you've become." Anna, Mary's sister, also joined in. "And Alex, thank you for loving and supporting my sister. I know that together you will be very happy." Dinner was filled with laughter and shared memories, further strengthening the bonds between the two families. At the end of the night, Mary and Alex retired early, knowing that the next day would be one of the most important of their lives. The wedding day dawned clear and sunny. Mary got ready in one of the hotel suites, surrounded by her mother and sister. As she adjusted her veil, Mary felt a mix of nerves and excitement. "You look beautiful, honey," Mrs. Blanc said, tears of happiness welling in her eyes. "Yes, Mary, you look radiant," added Anna, smiling broadly. Mary took a deep breath, feeling grateful to have her family by her side at that significant moment. Outside, the guests began to arrive, marveling at the beauty of the venue. The hotel garden, meticulously decorated, looked magical in the sunlight. Alex, waiting by the flower arch, couldn't contain his emotion as he saw Mary appear at the end of the aisle. As Mary began to walk towards him on her mother's arm, Alex felt his heart beat faster. Mary looked radiant, and the look of love and determination in her eyes gave him the certainty that they were doing the right thing. The ceremony was emotional and sincere. Surrounded by their loved ones, Mary and Alex exchanged vows full of love and promises for the future. Every word resonated in the hearts of those present, sealing their commitment with a kiss that symbolized the beginning of a new life together. "I promise to love and support you every step of the way," Alex said, his eyes shining with emotion. "And I promise to be by your side, in good times and bad, building our future together," Mary replied, her voice firm and full of love. After the ceremony, the guests made their way to the reception, where a delicious dinner and a dance floor awaited them. The evening was filled with laughter, toasts, and moments of joy. Mary and Alex's friends and family joined in the celebration, creating memories that would last forever. The highlight of the evening was when Mary and Alex shared their first dance as husband and wife. Beneath the stars and the twinkling lights, they moved to the rhythm of a soft melody, feeling the world disappear around them. "This is just the beginning, Mary," Alex whispered as he held her close. "We have a lifetime ahead of us to enjoy together." Mary smiled, her eyes filled with tears of happiness. "Yes, Alex. I'm excited for everything that's to come. Thank you for making me so happy." The party continued late into the night, with the guests enjoying every moment. After the wedding, Mary and Alex's life at the Hotel de la Luna took on a new and exciting rhythm. Committed to improving and expanding the hotel, they both dedicated themselves to working together to create a positive and professional work environment. Each day brought new challenges and opportunities, and their relationship grew stronger with each shared achievement. One morning, while reviewing plans for a new wing of the hotel, Alex looked at Mary with a smile. "We have a great opportunity here, Mary. We can make the Hotel de la Luna a benchmark in the industry, not only for its luxury, but for the human quality we offer." Mary nodded, feeling her husband's enthusiasm rubbing off on her. "I agree, Alex. Let's make sure our employees feel valued and our guests receive the best possible service. That will make all the difference." To achieve this, they implemented ongoing training programs and feedback sessions with staff. They listened to their employees' ideas and concerns, creating an environment where everyone felt part of a big family. The atmosphere in the hotel improved remarkably, and soon the reputation of the Hotel de la Luna soared, attracting clients from all over the world. One day, while supervising improvements in the garden, Mary felt a strange wave of nausea. At first, she attributed it to stress and workload, but when the symptoms persisted, she decided to take a pregnancy test. To her surprise and joy, the result was positive. That night, during dinner, Mary decided to share the news with Alex. "Alex, I have something important to tell you," she began, a mixture of nerves and excitement in her voice. Alex put down his fork and looked at her with concern. "What is it, honey? Is everything okay?" Mary smiled, trying to hold back tears of happiness. "We're expecting a baby." Alex was silent for a moment, absorbing the news. Then a huge grin spread across his face, and he stood up to hug her. "Mary, that's wonderful," he exclaimed, hugging her tightly. "I can't believe it. We're going to be parents." The news of the pregnancy filled their days with new expectations and preparations. As Mary's belly grew, so did their love and commitment to each other. Layla, as they decided to name their daughter, became the center of their thoughts and plans. The months flew by and the hotel continued to thrive under Mary and Alex's leadership. The new wing of the hotel was completed on time and received rave reviews for its innovative design and focus on sustainability. The couple's dedication to their project and their family created an atmosphere of harmony and success that everyone at the hotel could feel. Finally, the day came when Layla was born. The joy they felt holding their daughter for the first time was indescribable. Mary, exhausted but radiant, looked at Alex as he held Layla in his arms. "She's perfect, Alex, our little Layla." Alex, tears of happiness welling in his eyes, gently stroked his daughter's head. "Yes, she's perfect. Just like you, Mary." Layla's birth not only strengthened their family, but also inspired Mary and Alex to move forward with their vision for the hotel. They wanted the Hotel de la Luna to be a legacy for their daughter, a symbol of what can be achieved with love and dedication. Over time, the Hotel de la Luna became an icon of success. Guests not only appreciated the luxury and exceptional service, but also the warm and welcoming atmosphere that Mary and Alex had cultivated. The employees, motivated and valued, worked with a passion that was reflected in every aspect of the hotel. Mary, looking to the future, felt grateful for everything they had accomplished. Alongside Alex and their little Layla, she knew they could face any challenge. And so concludes the inspiring story of Maria and Alex at the Hotel de la Luna. I hope you enjoyed this journey full of challenges, love, and triumph as much as I enjoyed sharing it with you. Maria's life is a testament that with determination and the support of our loved ones, we can overcome any obstacle and build a bright future. If this story touched your heart, don't forget to like this video and subscribe to my channel for more inspiring content. And if you know someone who needs a bit of hope and motivation, share this video with them. Leave me your comments below. I would love to know which part of the story impacted you the most. Also, if you have any suggestions for topics or stories you would like me to cover in the future, don't hesitate to let me know. Until next time, and don't forget to keep hope alive.